Every morning, before the city truly woke up, a man named Daniel sat outside a busy bus terminal with an old wooden basket beside him. That basket was almost always empty. Daniel survived by asking travelers for spare change. Some people helped, many ignored him. Most never even looked at his face. Over time, Daniel stopped expecting anything more from life. He believed this was his place in the world, to ask, to wait, and to accept whatever came his way. One afternoon, something unusual happened. A woman in simple clothes stopped in front of him. She didn't look rich, but she carried herself with confidence. Daniel lifted his basket, as he always did. Instead of dropping a coin, she asked a question. "What do you do all day?" Daniel was surprised. "I sit here and ask for help," he said honestly. "This is how I survive." The woman nodded, then asked another question, one Daniel had never heard before. "And what do you give to the world?" Daniel laughed quietly. "Give? I have nothing. If I had something to give, I wouldn't be sitting here." The woman smiled gently and placed a coin in his basket. "Sometimes," she said, "the problem is not what we have, but what we believe we are." And with that, she walked away. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. What do you give to the world? The question repeated in his mind again and again. The next morning, Daniel looked around the terminal more carefully than ever before. He noticed tired travelers, confused tourists, an elderly man struggling to read the departure board, a young woman panicking because she missed her bus. Without thinking too much, Daniel stood up. He helped the old man find the right platform. He guided the young woman to the ticket counter. He carried a heavy bag for a family rushing to board. He didn't ask for money. Something unexpected happened that day. A man offered him a bottle of water. A woman gave him a sandwich. Someone placed coins in his basket, not out of pity, but gratitude. For the first time, Daniel felt something new. Not relief, not luck, value. Days passed, and Daniel kept helping. People started recognizing him. They smiled when they saw him. They trusted him. One morning, a small shop owner near the terminal called him over. "You're here every day," the man said. "Help me unload supplies in the morning, and I'll pay you." Daniel agreed immediately. That day, he earned money not by asking, but by doing. Weeks later, Daniel saved enough to buy a small thermos and paper cups. He started selling tea to early morning travelers. His basket was no longer empty. But the biggest change wasn't the money, it was his mindset. Daniel no longer saw himself as someone waiting for help. He saw himself as someone who created value. People began coming specifically for his tea. They trusted him. They respected him. Months later, the same woman returned to the terminal. She stood at his small tea setup and looked at him carefully. "You look different," she said. Daniel smiled. "I am." She glanced at the basket beside him, now filled with cups, coins, and purpose. "Your basket is full now," she said. Daniel nodded. "Yes," he replied softly, "but more importantly, my thinking is full." Years passed. The bus terminal now had a small tea stall called the Empty Basket. New workers often asked Daniel why he chose such a strange name. Daniel always smiled and answered, "Because it reminds me of the day everything changed. The day I stopped asking what the world could give me and started asking what I could give the world." This story teaches us one powerful truth. You don't change your life by waiting for opportunity. You change it by becoming valuable. When your thinking changes, your world changes.